Hey everyone, Fox here from Fox Kit WoodWorks and Fox Den videos. This is going to be the long format of the 12 Tools of Christmas, and in this we're going to go over each of the tools during the first 6 days and go in more depth about why these are great tools for your beginner woodworker or DIYer. Now, before I go any further into this video, I want to say thank you guys for all supporting and following the channel. And if you get a chance, if you're new, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification button, as we are on our road to hopefully 500 subscribers by the first of the year. So, for day one, we talked about measurement devices. And first, we talked about tape measures. Now, they come in lots of different sizes and shapes with different features. Some have built-in retention devices so that when you pull it out, it stays in place, and then you push the tab and it goes in. Others actually have, which is my preferred favorite, the locking tab to hold it down, and then you can set your measurements that way. Good quality ones I do suggest to look for will have a measurement on the bottom saying how much you add to your measurement from the tape if you have to do an inside angle, such as if I'm measuring from here to here and I need to measure it from the inside width, I can add 3 inches on this one to my 19 inches to get 22 inches, and it makes it a lot easier. They also come very small, and this is a little one that goes on your keychain that goes to 6 feet, which is really handy to have while you're going around to different shops. But my personal favorite is the FastCap brand. And the reason why is they have multiple different styles, but the lefty-righty is my favorite right now. And the reason for that is, when you open it up, you can read it both from the left and the right side, meaning if I'm on this side, I can read the bottom, and if I was on the other side, I could read the top to me. Secondly, it has a built-in whiteboard, and you can just take your pencil and write on it, a little spit, and wipe it right off. It does go to 1/16 of an inch, but the cool feature, and I'll call it my third feature of this highlight, is that it has a pencil sharpener. So if you don't have that mechanical pencil, all you do is put your pencil in, and now it's sharp. When it comes to other measuring devices, you have rulers. And when you're doing a lot of fine woodworking or small woodwork, that's where these come in very handy. This one here is from Wen, and I really highly recommend looking at the Wen series of measurement and tools because they are very accurate and they come in a bunch of different features. I picked up the 3-foot and the 12-inch, and including their sliding T-style, we'll call it T-style, I don't know what else to call it, that comes with 3 different rulers on it, and you can set your measurement marks and then make your lines across your wood. Now, that doesn't say that there's a lot of other types of measurement devices out there, whether it be rulers and squares and tape measures. All right, and now we're moving on to day 2, marking devices. Whether it be a pencil, a pen, or a piece of chalk, it all depends on the material you're working on. Since we're working with wood, we're typically going to use pencils. And pencils come in many different shapes and sizes between your old standard lead or graphite-filled pencils or your mechanical pencils. Now, each one of these comes with different features. As I said earlier, I really like these Thorvald ones for the fact that they are a mechanical pencil. You have a sharpener built in the back. You have different leads you can change out to like a yellow waxy one for working with darker materials such as walnut, bubinga, rosewood. But you also have the option to use graphite. This Nick Pro one is also really nice because it actually has different color options for its lead, including red and white, which will help on other types of colors of wood. But the most common one we're going to see is going to be our standard ones that we see from Home Depot or Lowe's, which are like number 2 pencil that's round and our carpenter's pencil. Now, the cool thing with these is that they're always handy. It's got the built-in eraser on the regular number 2. And, you know, as long as you got a pencil sharpener around, it's pretty easy to sharpen. The carpenter's pencil, though, has some neat tricks. One, it's a 1/4 inch thick this way and a 1/2 inch thick this way, so you can actually use it to set up different offsets or gapping when you're putting things together. 2, as you notice, it's not round. It's not going to roll on you when you set it down on a piece of wood or an uneven surface. Now, when you're getting into really fine woodworking and making sure you're making a cut right on the line and you want to make sure it's as accurate as possible, that's when these fine mechanical pencils come in really handy. This one, as I said earlier, I think goes down to 0.3 millimeters. So you get a very fine line and you can get very, very accurate with your blade. Now, saying that, we talked about that you need to be able to make angles. Now, there's lots of different ways to make angles. You can use compasses. There's different types of angle finders out there. I have an old school one over here. That's an old school angle finder to copy them. And basically how this works is, let's say you're trying to copy a leg into a chair and you need to replace it or make another one. You can literally go to your reference, set the angle, lock it in, and then put it on your new piece of wood and do it. But it doesn't actually tell you the angle. The most common way of setting these angles, though, are with speed squares. And there's multiple different types out there. But again, you have a small version and full-size versions. And there's a lot of other features you can use with this, including using one of your circular saws, which we're going to go over later, to do cuts on 2x4s or 2x6s without actually having to put it into a miter saw or a compound sliding miter saw. Now, moving on to day 4, and that is talking about how do we cut the wood. Talking about how do we cut the wood. What is the best option for a beginner to use to cut their wood? And that's where I talked about having a circular saw. Whether it's cordless or corded, that's going to be the preference of your woodworker and what you know they're using. If they're already in a cordless, let's say Milwaukee or Ryobi platform, probably staying in that same area would be really nice for them because they're not going to have to buy new batteries for it. However, buying a corded, as long as you got an extension cord, you can pretty much go anywhere you need. Now, there are different sizes of these circular saws, ranging from, I believe this one is actually a 5-inch or 6-inch blade, all the way up to 10 or even 12-inch blades. But really the common one that you're going to go with is going to be that 7 1/4 circular saw blade. It's going to allow you to cut through most materials, including up to 4x4s, though you might have to make a little additional cut on the other side. But I also find that the corded version gives you just that additional power, since you're not having to deal with a battery platform with, as time goes by, it's going to lose power in the battery, and then that means it's going to lose power to the blade. There are some options, though, in the cordless area that you might want to take a look at. And what you really want to look for is that it's brushless. That's going to help it spin faster and better and have more power. Or if they have a upped battery pack for it that has a better voltage for it to keep it going longer and faster. Now, once we go ahead and cut all our wood, and before we put it together, we're going to need to sand it. And that's where there's a bunch of different sanders that you can use. You have mouse sanders. You have your oscillating sanders, you have your random orbit sanders, you have your belt sanders, you have your tabletop sanders, you have fine detail sanders. There are so many out there. My personal preference for you guys to start with is a random orbit sander in either the 5 or 6-inch variety. You can buy them in corded or cordless, though I will say the cordless do sometimes get a little wonky in the hand because of that battery pack. So again, if you're starting off and you're trying to look for a budget option for that new woodworker or DIYer, a corded variant would work really well. Most of your, but not all, corded and cordless will come with a few features. One, they'll actually have a port on the back where you can add your own dust collection, whether it be through a shop vac or a dust extractor, or it'll have a filter or kind of trap that'll go on the back, and that will catch the dust coming up and through. Additionally, a lot will have a speed control, though some, like this Craftsman, do not. You can go up to a 6-inch random orbit, that way you don't have to make as many passes, and they'll have a number on them that says 2.5, 3, or 5 millimeters. And basically what that's talking about is the orbit pattern. Now, if you're doing a lot of rough construction or outdoor work where you just need to hog a lot of wood off to get something to fit or to make it nice and sanded and smooth, a belt sander might be your good option so you can keep remaining it flat but take a lot off. And that leads me to the final piece, which was our drills. Now, again, options are both corded and cordless. Right now, currently, I only have cordless in the Ryobi 18-volt platform. And I'll tell you, there's lots of different drills too out there. You have your regular, you have your impact, you have your hammer drills. Regardless of what you're looking at, again, if it's cordless, take a look at your loved one or your family member that you're buying it for. See if you can match their platform. That way they can use the batteries they already have for the drills. But again, if they don't, or you don't know, you can always go with a corded variant because there's always going to be a power source with an extension cord. Speaking of our drills, that is where we want to look at picking up some drill bits and attachment bits so we can set those screws in. And I have really liked the DeWalt series of drill bits. They just come in. Excuse me. When we're putting these together, we're going to need bits to be able to drill our actual holes out and then sink screws in. And that's where buying a set of drill bits and attachment bits are going to be very handy. I've really come to like the DeWalt drill bits. They come in different types. You can buy big packs that'll have wood ones, ceramic ones, metal ones, ones with a point so it can sink in a little bit easier, ones that are V-shaped. There's a whole bunch of different ones out there. You also have a number of bits to be able to route out holes, such as Fastener bits or auger bits, things of that style. But all those are doing are cutting holes in different fashions, and that's something maybe you don't need to worry about, but a simple set of drill bits is going to come in really handy. And finally, you need your attachment bits for your drill, so that way you can set those screws in. And I've actually come to like this Ryobi one. It comes with a nice set of flatheads, Phillips, T, Robertson, Hex, but additionally it even has some different sized, we'll call it bolt. I don't know what you call it. Anyways, it's got other attachments in it too, and it's a pretty decent price. This one is actually a 70-piece kit. So, I hope you like this first 6 days of the 12 Tools of Christmas. Go ahead, add a comment into the video. Tell me what you think you might want to see in the next 6 videos, or what you might want to see in future comment. And if you get a chance, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button, and we will see you for day 7.